Welcome to the hotel room. So, I'm on another one of my road trips and I'm filming YouTube videos along the way. I'm mostly filming for my rail fanning channel, but I'm also doing some for some of my other channels. Today I had an equipment failure, and I've had a failure like this before in the past, and I wanted to talk about what I've learned to do in order to deal with it. So I use a very inexpensive tripod. I got the idea from another YouTuber that I know. I ordered off of Amazon. I believe the brand is Amazon Basics. I'll include a link in the description section of the video. If I break it, if I lose it, if it falls down a ravine, whatever, I'm not out a lot of money. It's lightweight, it's compact, it collapses, and I can use it indoors or outdoors. The downside to it is that it's very light, so wind knocks it over very easily, and it's cheaply made, so it's kind of fragile. I mean, I I'd say that individual results may vary depending on how you use the tripod. If you just use it indoors, it shouldn't be a problem. But I take mine out in the elements a lot, and sometimes I'm even running with them to set up in time to catch a train. And this tripod actually lasted longer than any of the ones I've had in the past. This one lasted about 2 years. I usually don't get that much life out of them, but for the price, I really don't care. I just throw this thing in the scrap bin. So the legs unfold and lock into place, and then you can telescope them to whatever height you need. And if it's on an uneven surface, you can just extend the legs out different lengths to get the tripod level. And you can see one of the legs came off. Now, these will wear out at the pivot point, but you can just snap them back in. So you just line up the pieces and it'll snap back in. But it's not going to stay in place with this very, very flimsy aluminum piece here broken. So it just sheared right off. And that's happened before with some of these tripods. Another thing that will fail is the ability for the tripod to pivot. Should be able to just loosen that up and turn it like this. But sometimes even with it loose, it just won't move, or you've really got to force it around. So there are some downsides to the tripod, but otherwise it's inexpensive. It's a good beginner tripod. If you want to buy something sturdier, heavier later on down the road, I mean, you could always try something like that out. And the base for the camera mount is easily attached. So you just pull back the lever, slide it into place, and it locks in. Now this doesn't come with the tripod. This is an adapter. So here's the camera mount. This does come with the tripod. And it's very easy to adjust. There's just a little tab that folds up. It's a 1/4 20 thread, and you tighten it up and then fold it down and lock it into place. You can put different mounting brackets on there. This one actually holds 2 smartphone mounts, and you could actually put 4 on here if you wanted to, or a combination of other things that will screw into a 1/4 20 thread, like say like a light, or I've been thinking about making some sort of stand that I can clip my scanner to, so I could just have that there, and the audio from the scanner can just bleed over into the mics for the cameras. So with this thing broken, I'll throw it in the scrap metal bin, but I'll save the base. And then with different camera mounts, I can have them attached to this base and just quick connect, quick disconnect these. And that's exactly what I did today. I ran out to film a train. I had both tripods. I'm using the exact same tripod right here, except it has a single camera mount. And that was on this tripod. So the single camera mount was on this tripod. This broke, and I was able to pull the mount off, throw it on the good tripod, get one camera on there and film, as opposed to messing around with this and trying to get two cameras on there. And the reason I wouldn't just put one camera on this is because I have before, and it kind of just it's a little bit crooked when you do that. It locks into place in here, but with a little bit of weight on one side, it will kind of tilt a little bit. So there'd be an odd camera angle. The other thing too is I use old cell phones for my cameras. Now this is my work phone, and then my personal phone I use primarily to film videos. And then I've got some old work phones that still have functioning cameras, and I keep the batteries charged and whatnot. And I can put one in and film landscape like I am right now, and this one I can film portrait. Now this mount here, I don't really care for it. It works better if you have the camera horizontally. If you try to do a short, try to do a portrait type layout with it, the phone tends to fall right off. But with this one here, you can go either way, and you just loosen that thumb screw and turn it this way, and you can adjust this to open up to fit whatever size cell phone that you've got. So I've just kind of messed around with these. I've actually tried some other stuff that has just not lasted very long, or I've just had issues with. I don't think I'll get this one again. I think I might just stick with this. But I mean, there are lots of brands out there. There's lots of different options. Now, I was going to talk about, or I said in the beginning of the video, I figured out what to do about this, and that's because I've broke so many of these things over the years that I keep a spare in the truck all the time. This is a brand new one in a box, and it's been in the truck for like 2 years. So it comes with a bag, unzips, pull off the plastic cover, and I've got a brand new tripod. Just loosen this up to adjust the angle, and tighten this to keep it from swiveling. Pull the lever, and there's your quick disconnect mount with a 1/4-20 thread. And there is a pin in this that's spring loaded, so that it helps lock some of the attachments into place. If you don't have that, you can still tighten it down with the screw, but if you bump it, it will pivot. So inexpensive option for a tripod for filming YouTube videos. Not the best tripod in the world, but like I said, if something happens, like a leg breaks on it or something, I'm not worried about it. It works for me. At some point, maybe I will get a better tripod, but I don't know. I kind of look at these like I look at sunglasses. I'd love to have an expensive pair, but I know I'll scratch it, lose them, or break them. So that's why I buy cheap sunglasses. Because if something happens to them, I'm really not worried about it. Otherwise, though, I do believe in spending money to get quality items. And maybe one day I'll do a review on a quality tripod and explain why I thought it was worth the money. Until then, this is good enough. Thanks for watching. It's the next morning, so I thought I'd just go ahead and add this to the video. So here's my standard setup when I have time. You can see the tripod. You can elevate this even more if you need to. And there's my personal phone, and that's one of my wife's old phones. It's still good for a camera. And I can adjust these to tilt them whatever way I need, so I can get, like right now I've got the block signal in frame, right? And like this one that I don't really care for too much, I can tilt at different angles. This one is just, it kind of stays fixed, so I would have to adjust. And every so often I've got to reset them. With the older ones, they don't just stay on. This is a iPhone 17. I've got it set to stay on. So it is some work. Sometimes if I've got the tripods far apart, I've got to go back and forth You can see this one, I can just go ahead and crank it up and have it ready. And then what I can do is I can get the approach shot, say if he's coming from the west to the east, and then I can get the follow through as he passes. What I can do is I can take the video from this and then fade it and then add the video from that, and then you've got both angles. Or I can make one video here, make another full-length video here. You get the entire train. Signal's malfunctioning. We had bad weather last night and it was doing this last night. So I can make 2 videos out of it. So what I'll do sometimes, if I have the time to set up something like this and I don't have any technical issues, is I'll make a video that I publish within, you know, that day or a few days or a few weeks, and then I'll make another one and I'll put it in the studio and I leave it unlisted. And then I can publish it later. Say I've got something going on, I'm really busy, I don't have time for rail fanning or something like that. Or I'll publish it on that day a year or 2 later, something like that. So I can put more videos out there. So you get the same train, but you get it at a later time from a different angle. And then with my wife's camera or some of the other phones that I can put in here, I can film the short. Now I can take the footage from this and edit it and turn it into a short, but it's easier to edit this, and once again you get a different camera angle. So when you get video from me, most of the time it's not one video that's cut up and edited 3 or 4 times. It's 2 or 3 videos. On occasion I will take a full-length video and I'll use software to make a short out of it because I thought it would make a good short, and I only had enough time to pull out the camera and go freehand, not really set this thing up. And I'm not saying that my rail fanning setup is the best. This is just something that I do, and it's something that I've kind of worked out over the years. I have other YouTube channels, so I film other things. So I've learned from each of my channels. I've gotten different ideas, and I've seen some things other YouTubers do as well. Something I'd like to do in the future, I said it in the beginning of the video, is somehow or another mount this so that the scanner's right there and I'm not holding on to it. And next time I place an order with Amazon, I'll order another one of these tripods and just throw the box on the floor in the back of the truck, and I'll have it ready for the next time I have one break on me. Thanks again for watching.